Getting really good at something ain't about luck or doing it now and then. It's about what they call deliberate practice. This means practicing with a clear focus and intention to get better at something. Researchers noticed that successful folks had something in common. They concentrated on improving just one skill at a time. They didn't try to be great at everything. Instead, they carefully chose one skill that would help them the most at that point in their career. For instance, if someone worked in a big company, they'd look at what the top performers were doing really well. Then, they'd pick one skill, like a sniper, aiming for a target, and make it their mission to master it. They'd make a plan and work on that skill every single day until they became really good at it. This deliberate and focused approach helped them move forward in their careers. How would they know if they've gotten really good at the skill they've been focusing on? Well, it's when others start noticing and telling them how good they are at it. They might hear things like, "Blimey, you're brilliant at negotiating," or "You're spot on at getting appointments," or "You're ace at closing sales." These compliments show they've mastered that skill. Once they hit this point, they can confidently say, I've nailed this skill." Then they start thinking about what skill will be most helpful for them to work on next. They do this every year, always focusing on improving one skill at a time. Loads of folks find themselves in this spot. Roughly 1.5% of the population sets off on their journey into the working world. It's like a massive marathon where everyone lines up at the starting line. Then, when the signal's given, like the bang of a gun, everyone starts running. Just like in a marathon, some people sprint ahead quickly. In this race, which is really about earning money, most folks end up somewhere in the middle, but sadly, there are also some who lag far behind, unable to keep up with the pace. So it's a bit like a big race where some zoom ahead, some stick to the middle, and some sadly fall behind. There was this really long study that went on for 25 years, and it's just been finished recently. I reckon it's one of the best studies ever done about how people become successful. They were curious about something. How come some folks earn such whopping paychecks? These folks are raking in nearly £1 million each month just by going to work. And if they ever lost their job, another company would snap them up quick and pay them a massive $10 million every year. That's a huge amount of money. So the researchers wanted to know, how does this happen? They wanted to figure out why some people are so successful in life. They reckoned maybe these successful folks were just super brainy or had some special talents or qualities that helped them achieve so much. So, they decided to dig into the records from when these successful people were in school and their first couple of jobs. They wanted to see if there was anything special about them that stood out. And guess what the researchers discovered? These successful folks were actually just like everyone else when they first started out. They weren't any brainier or more talented than the average person. Even at the start of their careers, they were just average folk. Nothing extraordinary about them. But then something interesting happened. They all started using one particular strategy. And let me tell you, this strategy has the power to transform your life and your career forever. And what's really surprising is that it's so simple, you might find it hard to believe. When these folks started their first job, they had a savvy approach. They'd head straight to their boss and have a chat. They'd say something like, "Hey boss, I really want to do well here and make a meaningful impact. What's one skill I could work on that would really help me succeed and contribute more effectively to the company?" This simple question opened up a world of opportunities for them. When they asked their boss for advice, some managers would often suggest specific skills that could make them much more valuable in their job. These skills could be things like negotiation, teamwork, sales, or understanding financial statements. The boss would explain that being really good at one of these skills could set them apart from others. So, they would listen carefully and take note of the skill the boss recommended. They treated it like a goal, just like how you plan out your lessons for school subjects. For instance, if someone wanted to become a doctor or an engineer, they'd know the courses they needed to take to get there. Similarly, they'd create a plan for developing this skill. They'd figure out which books were the best to read and which audio program is the most helpful. Then, they'd make sure to include these resources in their plan for improvement. Another important thing they did was ask about courses and seminars that could help them improve the skill they were focusing on. They were eager to learn and grow, so they wanted to know what educational opportunities were available to them. And lastly, they were curious about what actions they could take every day to get better at this skill. They understood the importance of consistent practice and wanted to know how they could incorporate it into their daily routine. So, they would show up to work every day with a clear focus on developing this one skill, much like a skilled sniper aiming for a target, rather than someone spraying bullets randomly like a machine gunner. They knew it might take some time, maybe a month, 3 months, or even a year, but they were committed to working on that skill every single day until they mastered it. And here's the magic number: 2 hours per day, 5 days per week. That's a total of 10 hours. They found that spending 2 hours each day focused on studying and practicing a single skill for 5 days a week was the key to success. So they realized that dedicating this amount of time every day to personal study and improvement was crucial. It might seem simple, but this consistent effort really made a difference in their progress and success. Having both knowledge and skills is super important if you want to succeed. These things help you earn money. Your knowledge and your ability to use that knowledge effectively to achieve something that customers are willing to pay for is really important. Unfortunately, some people who lose their jobs don't realize that they haven't kept their knowledge and skills up to date enough to justify the amount of money they were earning. Make a commitment to excellence. This is called the possibility for life change, and it starts with education. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in picking up ideas. Don't be lazy in learning from your own experience. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of life change. When these folks started their first job, they had a savvy approach. They'd head straight to their boss and have a chat. They'd say something like, "Hey boss, I really want to do well here and make a meaningful impact. What's one skill I could work on that would really help me succeed and contribute more effectively to the company?" This simple question opened up a world of opportunities for them. When they asked their boss for advice, some managers would often suggest specific skills that could make them much more valuable in their job. These skills could be things like negotiation, teamwork, sales, or understanding financial statements. The boss would explain that being really good at one of these skills could set them apart from others. So, they would listen carefully and take note of the skill the boss recommended. They treated it like a goal, just like how you plan out your lessons for school subjects. For instance, if someone wanted to become a doctor or an engineer, they'd know the courses they needed to take to get there. Similarly, they'd create a plan for developing this skill. They'd figure out which books were the best to read and which audio program is the most helpful. In today's fast-changing world, if you're not continuously learning and improving, you risk becoming outdated. This means that the job you currently hold may not be in demand for long. It could be as soon as a week, a month, or a year. Sometimes, new technology can render an entire job type obsolete in just a couple of years. Therefore, it's crucial to keep pondering about what your next career move might be. Ask yourself regularly, what do you envision your next job could be? You're probably aware that most people who start working today will change jobs approximately 14 times and may even transition careers up to 6 times. They might find themselves working in as many as 6 different fields throughout their lifetime. So, what do you foresee as your next job or career path? Here's a crucial point. What steps can you take right now to enhance your skills and capabilities, enabling you to earn enough money and live the life you desire? Unlock your next career opportunity by focusing on excelling in your current role. Aim to be the top performer in your current job, then aspire to become the best in your entire field. Once you attain the pinnacle, exert effort to maintain your position and enhance your life further. What actions must you take to achieve this? What kind of person do you need to become? If you could master one skill or a set of skills exceptionally well, which would have the most positive impact on your future? Your mission is to discover that. You might need to consult your boss or conduct some research to find the answer. Once you've identified it, dedicate yourself to learning and enhancing those skills to the fullest. It's all about recognizing what will bring the greatest positive change to your life and concentrating on mastering it. Continuously ask yourself, where do you envision your future in your career? Where do you perceive your career trajectory heading? And what about your industry? What direction is it taking? Likewise, what about your specific role or the company you're employed with? What are their prospects? By understanding where your future lies and foreseeing it, you can equip yourself to adapt and excel. If you don't learn to manage change adeptly, you'll find yourself swept away by it. Rather than taking charge of the situation, you'll feel at the mercy of whatever comes your way. It's akin to being tossed around by the waves of life. However, by becoming highly proficient at handling change, you can navigate life's fluctuations with much greater ease and confidence. Expertise helps you become the powerful variable, wanting to excel in all of the skills and settling for nothing less than an outstanding performance. If you're willing to be the best in your field, if you're willing to demand of yourself excellence in skills, to be the best that you can possibly be in the training, do the best you possibly can in doing a workshop, do the best you possibly can, developing the skills of using your personality, developing the skills of language, developing the skills of influence, developing the skills of organizing. If you're willing to be an expert in all of the skills, to invest those skills, and not only make a handsome living, not only make a lot of money, but if you would so desire, and if it would be your purpose, a chance to make your fortune. You see, my friends, we're all given the same 168 hours in a week. It's what we do with those hours that truly matters. Now, if you're serious about climbing to the top of your field, about amassing wealth, and about crafting a life of unparalleled success, then listen closely. Dedicate just 10 hours of your precious week to self-improvement. That's it. Remarkably simple, yet profoundly effective. And let me tell you something. This strategy isn't just for the ordinary. It's the secret weapon of the elite achievers. I've had the privilege of rubbing shoulders with CEOs from some of the world's largest corporations. And do you know what sets them apart? They invest a mere 2 to 3 hours each week into reading and refining their craft. That's the difference, my friends. A small commitment to continuous improvement that yields monumental results. Do you know who holds the title of the 6th richest individual in the world? His name is Warren Buffett. Back in Warren's youth, at the tender ages of 14 and 15, he toiled as a newspaper delivery boy. Each morning, at the break of dawn, when the world was still cloaked in darkness and others slumbered, Warren was out there delivering newspapers. For over 2 years, he tirelessly delivered a staggering 200,000 newspapers, earning just a single cent for each. But here's where the tale takes a captivating turn. Instead of squandering his hard-earned money, Warren diligently saved it. Over time, his savings accumulated to $2,000. And do you know what he did next? That $2,000 became his inaugural investment. However, Warren didn't throw his funds into the unknown haphazardly. No, he meticulously examined his options and made astute investment decisions. And what do you think happened? His investment flourished. So he injected even more capital, and the cycle continued. Fast forward to the present day, and Warren Buffett's total investments stand at a staggering $350 billion. Yes, you heard it right. He's the mastermind behind one of the largest corporations globally, ranking as the 3rd or 4th largest single company in the United States. Renowned investor Warren Buffett added nearly $12 billion to his net worth in 2023. Can you fathom the distance he's traversed from those early mornings spent delivering newspapers? It vividly illustrates the potency of shrewd investments and unwavering diligence. Now, $25 billion is an astronomical sum of money. It's an immense feat for a single individual to cultivate a company generating such colossal profits. But here's an intriguing aspect about Warren Buffett. He adheres to a remarkably consistent routine almost every day. Approximately 80% of his time is devoted to absorbing knowledge pertaining to his business domain. Only around 20% of his time is allocated to meetings, phone calls, or other engagements. Why does he devote so much time to learning? Because he firmly believes that by perpetually acquiring new insights, he can make superior decisions and ultimately attain superior outcomes. Therefore, despite his towering success, he never ceases in his pursuit of self-improvement and deeper comprehension of his business realm. It's an inherently sagacious approach, wouldn't you agree? I frequently pose a question to adults. How much time do you devote each week to learning new things in order to enhance your productivity and value? Learning fresh skills can significantly improve both your professional performance and overall quality of life. Those who command higher salaries often perceive their earning potential akin to ascending a ladder. Envision a ladder with rungs. Each rung symbolizes a skill. As you acquire new skills, you elevate your capacity to earn more money. Moreover, with each additional skill acquired, your earning potential steadily ascends. Each new skill enhances your value, rendering you increasingly indispensable to others. Consequently, individuals are willing to remunerate you more generously for the outcomes you can deliver. Now, if at any given moment you decide to halt your ascent up the ladder of success, you might linger at the same level for a time, much like many people do, around 80% of them. However, as time elapses, you'll gradually descend because the skills you possess become less valuable at an accelerated pace in today's rapidly changing world. Skills are becoming outdated more swiftly than ever before. Therefore, if you're not continuously striving to improve, it's akin to regressing rather than progressing on the ladder of success. When individuals ponder why they're not achieving greater financial success, it's often because they're not enhancing their proficiency in their respective fields. They're not acquiring new knowledge or endeavoring to better themselves to attain greater success. Augmenting earning potential is precisely what the wealthiest individuals in the world do. They establish a routine of dedicating at least 10 hours per week to acquiring a new skill that can optimally benefit them. It's akin to perpetually ascending the ladder of success, with learning seamlessly integrated into their lives. Just as some individuals might allocate time to watching TV or engaging in sports, for them, learning is a constant. They possess a unique ability to concentrate entirely on one pursuit and persist until completion. Discipline yourself, training yourself to maintain focus without succumbing to distractions like emails, phone calls, or background noise is paramount. It entails making a commitment to not allow anything else to divert your attention while you're engaged in important tasks. It's akin to honing a laser-like focus on a single objective and steadfastly warding off any interference. Napoleon Hill, renowned for his seminal work, Think and Grow Rich, later penned another influential book titled The Master Key to Riches. This book serves as a compendium of motivational ideas and principles aimed at guiding individuals towards success. After navigating through its 260 pages, you finally arrive at the conclusion where Hill unveils the grand secret, the master key to attaining wealth. In the opening paragraph, he hints at the wealth of motivational concepts and principles awaiting discovery within the book. And right at the climax, on the very last page of the final chapter, he reveals the ultimate revelation, self-discipline. According to Hill, possessing self-discipline is the quintessential key to unlocking wealth and achieving success. Society doesn't demand that you jog around the block every morning, but if you want good health, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you read a couple of books a week and improve your intelligence and your knowledge, but you must demand it of yourself. Society does not demand that you build a financial wall around your family. Nothing can get through. That's not a demand of society, but you must demand it if you wish it. You must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you learn a list of 10 skills in order to ensure your own future and the future of your family. Society doesn't demand it, doesn't require it. It is not a law. But if you want the benefit, you must demand it of yourself. Everybody will have the discipline to say, I will do the best job I can. I will make mistakes, of course, because we're all human. But I'll try to remedy those mistakes and do the best job I can. That kind of self-discipline that understands how important your part is in all of the functions that work, coming to work on the set here, to put on the broadcast, make it viable, make it real, make it powerful. Any couple of them missing, and it would be a disaster, but all of it put together and it works like a charm. Each person developing the self-discipline to do their part, do their job, the power of extraordinary performance. If you want to live extraordinarily, you must do extraordinary things. If you want an extraordinary income, you must do extraordinary things. If you want an extraordinary fortune, you must go with the demands of what it takes to have that fortune.